in Queensland was a super rich goldfield on and off between, say, 1870 when they first found the stuff and about 1925. If we have a look at this article from 1892, you see about three men who worked a claim for 10 ounces of gold per week. That's 3.3 ounces each per week, and at today's value in Australian dollars, that's about $20,000 each. Now, we're going to pack up our gear and get out there for a couple of days. We're going to have a look around the place, and on the second day we're going to see if we can find some gold too. Of course, the roads are a little bit better than they were back in the old times, when we get out there, we'll show you around where you can stay and where the gold lives. Finally, when we get home, we're going to do a reveal and see how much gold we found.
'Cause I spent half my life out there. You wouldn't disagree. Just see me, just see. Do you like me? Do you like me standing there? Do you notice? Do you know? Do you see? Do you see me? Does anyone care? Unhappiness. Where's when I was young and we didn't give a damn? 'Cause we were raised to see life as fun and take it if we can. My mother, she did she hold me when I was out there? My father, he liked me. Oh, he liked me. Does anyone care?
The parents of the two kids who died at the age of 2 were Tom and Susan Wiles. They appear to have been the richest people in town. You have a look through the old newspaper articles. They funded the 1899 Bachelor's Ball. They owned the general store, the butcher, the town hall and the pub. And all of that was auctioned off when Tom passed away in 1922. It's really tough for parents and kids out back in those days. There was no hospitals or anything like that, so it wasn't unusual for children to pass away at a young age. Fortunately, in this case, for the Wiles family, they had 4 other kids who did make it to maturity. There's not much left of the town of Cania today because it's underwater, it's under the dam, but there is a nice little walk you can do up a place called Paddy's Gully. Now, in 1870, there was this bloke from Ireland who used to secretly mine this place and cover up where he'd been digging. He must have found a shitload of gold. But eventually they got onto him, and the area became known as Paddy's Gully and Shamrock Mine after his Irish heritage. And you can walk the 600 metres or so out to where there is an old battery stamper. Now, these stampers, they used to throw the quartz in there, and the stamper would crush the quartz, and then they'd go off and process the crushed material. And on the way back, you can walk. I didn't walk on the track. I went over the rough terrain, and you can see all of the little hills and gullies in the alluvial workings. This area was mainly worked by the Chinese, and that'll take you back down to the car park.
Understand what I've become. It wasn't my design, and people everywhere think something better than I am. But I miss you, I miss 'cause I liked it.
At the end of the road, you get to Cania Dam, and there's a nice little day use area there with barbecues and trees and tables set up. You can go to the top of the hill and have a look at the lookout. I found it really good for mobile phone reception. Now, I found this article about a bloke. He was a German who had lived at Cania for 40 years. He passed away in 1914. He hung himself on a tree. And they reckon the reason he hung himself is because he was a German living in Australia when World War One broke out between the Han and the British Empire. I found that really sad. He's buried with the kids in the Cania cemetery. Now the day use area, it's really nice and that, but you're not meant to camp there, and I promise you I didn't.
I was out there. Do you know this? Do you know you did not find me? You did not find. Does anyone care? Unhappiness was when I was young and we didn't give a damn. 'Cause we were raised to see life as fun and take it if we can.
Cania goldfields are up here where the dam is now, and our nearest town is Monto. And Monto is about 25 k's from the goldfields. Now the main creek that runs through all of here is Three Moon Creek, and that's where we're going to work, and it runs all the way up here to where the dam is. We've only got quite a limited area where we can prospect around Cania, so the dam's up here and a lot of the old diggings are now covered. However, we have this section of about 700 metres of public land on the Three Moon Creek where it's publicly available. And importantly, up in these areas here is Starlight Creek, Starlight Gully. They feed down into Three Moon here. We've also got Shamrock Mine there that feeds into it. And just up this way we've got Paddy's where the old Stamper is. So there should be some gold in this section of Three Moon Creek. Some other things to note here, this area here is the Big Four Caravan Park. And if you were to stay there, you'll be staying right on the section of the creek where you can get into. And we have National Park all through here where you're not permitted to prospect, but right along the side of the creek is National Park, and you are allowed to enter National Park to park your car or walk around. And the place where I would be stopping, and we'll show you what it looks like, is this section here. It's just like an easy place where you can park your car. Starlight Gully and Starlight Creek are mentioned all through old articles. It's a rich little alluvial working that runs straight to Three Moon Creek.
My mother, she held me. Did she hold me when I was out there? My father, he liked me. Oh, he liked me. Does anyone care? Does anyone care?
So you just park at the top of Three Moon Creek here on that area marked on the map, and you can wander down easily, and I guess anyone of any ability can get to this creek. It's the dry season here. There's not much water flowing. Forget your sluice, but you will eventually find a nice clear piece of water where you can work. So where we are here is one of the many test holes that I've sort of dug. It's typical of all of them. They all seem to have like one or two specks of pan. Maybe you'll get three, and then they sort of peter out. But we'll rip another one out and see how we go. The material seems pretty good. It's sort of like dirt mixed with clay, mixed with river gravel. So you would think if there was anything in this place, it would come out of a spot like this. There was a bunch of rocks sort of sitting here. They'd gathered or stopped there for some reason, and I figured this ground looked okay. They've always loved their horses up Cania way. In fact, I guess in the 1800s they would have needed them. But have a look at this article I found from December 1880. It talks about the upcoming races, and 60 pounds of prize money that they're offering, and it says all diggers' horses can and will have to run. So I was out here, and a bloke on a horse just stopped to see what I was doing, and it turns out he was a lovely bloke, a stockman, a working stockman rounding up cattle, and after a brief chat he was on his way, and he let me take some film of him driving off.
Does anyone care? 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 Does anyone care?
There's fallen trees down everywhere right next to where the river would be or has been running. And have a look at the underside of the root system, particularly into areas like there. Now, some of these trees have just got mud under them, but others have rocks and a mixture of clay and other conglomerates. And I've had some success just putting the pan underneath here and just letting it fall in and going and panning that off. So we just have to stick our pan under here, and I'll get my little tiger claw, and it's as simple as that. You just scrape in areas where there's scrape the areas where there's dirt mixed with stone and hopefully a little bit of clay close to the roots, and you fill your pan up with a panful of that stuff and go off to the nicer part of the creek and check it out. I found a few flakes in there, nothing big again, because I just don't think anything too big's flowing down this part of the creek.
Does anyone care? 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 Does anyone care?
Just wait for those kookaburras to shut up. Thank you. Here's another little example of an area where I found a few flakes of gold. So over here we've got a little bit of water flow here. It's not one of those dead green areas. And there's a tree here and some roots. And rather than just mud at the bottom of the creek, there's actually stones. So what I've been doing is I'll just scratch away here a little bit around this root system. Then in here with the big spoon, and there's a mixture of rock, river gravel, clay, and hopefully some black sand. We just pan that away, and you can do it right here. It's not too bad compared to the rest of the creek. Yeah, so there was a couple of micro flakes in there, which is pretty typical of anywhere where the gold is around here. Doesn't seem to be sitting in any great quantities anywhere. I reckon you'd have to be out here a week before you actually found where the good spots were, but I'm not going to be out here that long. In January 1871, it was noted that there were no Chinamen on the diggings. They started to arrive September of that year, and very quickly they were making 1 ounce a man per week. They're often treated like second-class citizens on the Australian goldfields, the Chinese, but not so in Cania. I was surprised to see that 3 Chinamen had been laid to rest in the same cemetery as the Wiles children, the German immigrant and other Christians. Here at Three Moon Creek, there's a lot of cattle actually wander through here. There's no defining boundary between the national park, state land and private property, and there's no fences. So when you dig a little hole like this that's, I don't know, a foot or so deep, just make sure you fill it in, because you don't want the cattle sort of putting their foot in there and getting injured before they head off to the abattoir. They love their cattle up this way too, and as you're driving around, you're going to have to constantly give way to them. So the nearest town is Monto, which is about 25 k's away as the crow flies. Beautiful little town. The pub's like pretty awesome on the corner there at night time, all lit up. And if you just drive down the main street, they've pretty much got everything you need, including an IGA supermarket. And right at the end of the street of the main town, you can just drive straight and you get to this self-contained RV stopover, and there's some really nice toilets there, and it will just cost you $5 a night if you want to camp. Today the Cania cemetery lies somewhere under this section of the dam along with the rest of the town. The Chinaman, the Wiles children, the German immigrant and little Herbie Harris lie there next to 45 others. Herbie died at the age of 8 in 1909 from an accident. They may be there eternally together, but hopefully they'll never be forgotten. Here's my takings from a couple of days up at Cania. I spent the first day looking around the place and having a look at all of its history, and only really panned on the second day. Not sure it's going to be too spectacular, but see how we go. Well, that's looking okay actually. I thought I was only getting little tiny flakes, but I guess they all add up. Not too bad.